What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So it has been one day since the latest update for Star Wars Battlefront 2 has gone live. But this update, it brought us quite a few hero changes. It brought us two new heroes, which are BB-8 and BB-9E. And then it brought Capital Supremacy to the sequel trilogy era. So as always, I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion on this update. I'm going to talk about the good things, the bad things, and just sort of break down all the things that we got in this update. So to start us off, let's talk about the new heroes, BB-8 and BB-9E. Are they good? Are they fun? Are they balanced? And there's been a lot of backlash in the community since obviously a lot of people weren't looking forward to BB-8 and BB-9E. When it comes to adding heroes to the game, there's so many other options that they could have added. So there's been a lot of hate just right off the bat for these two heroes. And even with these new heroes being added to the game, I don't have any trouble getting them. I've noticed that like when people get the hero before me, they just don't pick BB-8 or BB-9E. They just don't care. Like when I'm playing Capital Supremacy, somebody will pick Kylo or Rey. If I'm playing Galactic Assault, I've seen people pick Anakin before me. I've never had that problem with any other new hero added to the game. Like if Anakin got added, or Obi-Wan, or Grievous, or Dooku, they would always get taken instantly, but for some reason, when it comes to these two new heroes, I always find them almost always available, because for some reason, just people don't want to play as them. Now, are they good? Yes and no. These heroes definitely play differently. These are support heroes by far. Like you're not going to go on crazy kill streaks. Now I'm not saying it's impossible, but they just don't do enough damage compared to some of the other heroes. So you will be getting a lot of assists instead of actual kills. Now I have seen some big kill streaks on YouTube, and I personally have gotten I think a 68 kill streak. Where I was playing with BB-8 on Naboo. So it is possible to get some decent kill streaks with these heroes, but you do have to work a little bit harder. Now these two droids do get a lot better as you increase their star cards, especially BB-8. BB-8 is all about going on the offensive. All his abilities are about doing damage and stuff, and he has more health than his counterpart BB-9E. And BB-9E is just nothing but support. Like, I don't really enjoy playing BB-9E as much because his abilities just aren't as good. He has 50 less health points than BB-8. His middle ability is like this shock stun, and it pushes enemies away from you, compared to BB-8's where he uses his little wires and he does a ton of damage. So I've had some crazy multi-kills with BB-8 where I've killed like 6 or 7 people all clustered together, versus BB-9E, when you use your shock trap, it pushes everyone away from you. So it is way harder to get kills with BB-9E compared to BB-8. So BB-9E is definitely for those players that really like to help support their teammates. If you like to play the objective and you like to help your team, then BB-9E is the hero for you. But if you like to run around the battlefront and get tons of kills, I would not recommend BB-9E whatsoever. Now, as of recording this video, I've gotten them both up to blue level star cards, so I have been able to tell a little bit of difference just based off of having them at default versus having them at a little bit better version of star cards. I feel that they're kind of the same as when Grievous came out. When General Grievous came out, I absolutely despised Grievous. I thought he sucked. But then once you got Grievous up to purple level star cards, he became really good. I feel that that's kind of how BB-8 is, because when I didn't have any star cards, BB-8 just didn't feel like he was doing that much damage. And now that I have him up to blue level star cards, I notice that I'm doing way more damage. I have a little bit better range with some of my abilities, and I think BB-8 is going to be pretty deadly in certain situations, especially where a lot of people are grouped up, like on the Naboo throne room, for example, or at the end of Endor where everybody's clustered into one room. That's when BB-8 is going to have his time to shine. Now, compared to other heroes, I mean, they can compete with other heroes in 1v1 situations, but they just don't do that much damage. Odds are, if you're going up against a Saber hero, you're going to get wrecked. Now, if you use your middle ability, it does do some decent damage to other heroes, but from what I found, for the most part, if you use your middle ability and the Saber hero just spams you to death with their saber swings, you are 9 times out of 10 probably going to die. Like, you don't do enough damage with your middle ability to make the Saber heroes want to run away from you. So overall, I think they're very fun to use. I'm not really complaining that they are added to the game. I was kind of neutral on the subject. I didn't really care that they were added, but at the same time, I could understand why people didn't want them to be added. I personally feel like they would be better at reinforcements. It's kind of an insult to have these added as heroes, especially BB-9E, because there's so many iconic Star Wars villains that could have been added to this game over BB-9E, because BB-9E did almost nothing in the movies to justify making him a hero for this game. But other than that, they are pretty fun to play with. I do enjoy playing with them. They are a lot of fun, but I definitely would not choose these two over any other heroes or villains when it comes to actually going out and getting kills. These are definitely a different play style, and you can tell that they are made for support roles. So now I want to talk about Capital Supremacy. Capital Supremacy has been brought to the sequel trilogy era, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy switching it up. I kind of got tired of playing as the clones and the battle droids over and over and over, and it was one of the reasons why I didn't like Capital Supremacy. And now that I have the option to play on a different era, it's really nice. I like playing on these other maps like Jakku, Takodana, Agent Kloss. It's really fun and interesting. It's a nice change of scenery. Now, this game mode does have that problem still where you can go to the ship phase and then back to the ground phase and then back to the ship phase, and it can go on for upwards of an hour to 2 hours. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but for the most part, it's fun. I really enjoy the ships. I think they look amazing. They're set up completely different than the Clone Wars era ships. The Clone Wars ships are just wide open, and there's almost no close quarters combat in those ships because of how open it is. Compared to these ships, everything's tight hallways, close quarter combat, and it is pretty epic. And I like how some of the units that I wouldn't normally pick, like the Flame Trooper or Phasma, they actually have their time to shine in this game mode, which I really enjoy. Phasma can just lay down her droid and cut off entire hallways. Flame Troopers can melt entire hallways. So it's nice to see some of these units that a lot of people wouldn't normally pick actually being useful in this game mode, and I really like this, and I'm having a lot of fun playing Capital Supremacy in the sequel era, and I hate the sequel trilogy movies. So if this game can make me enjoy something from the Disney era Star Wars when the movies themselves couldn't do it, then I think that's a good sign, and DICE really did something right here. And I really appreciate that I can finally sit here and enjoy something from Disney Star Wars outside of the movies. So I'm having a lot of fun with Capital Supremacy. And now that doesn't mean it's perfect. Now there are some things that I dislike, especially on Agent Kloss. For example, the Resistance has ATSTs counter the First Order ATSTs, which doesn't make too much sense to me. They're just old scavenged ATSTs from the Empire era. So it's really confusing because there's a glitch where your radar shows that friendly ATSTs and friendly vehicles show up as enemies. So when you're running around on the battle and you see ATSTs, at first glance you may think that it's your teammate, but it's really an enemy. So I've been killed quite a few times just because I have no idea which ATSTs are on my team or the enemy team. Because when you're playing as a stormtrooper, subconsciously in your brain you're thinking, there's an ATST that's on my team, like I don't have to worry about it. But then it starts shooting at you, and then you die. So I've lost quite a few heroes to the annoying ATSTs on Agent Kloss. So hopefully they do something to make them different, maybe add some camouflage or paint them or do something so I can tell the difference between the First Order ATSTs and the old Empire ATSTs. And then moving on to the hero changes and stuff, Anakin got a nerf, Palpatine got a nerf, Darth Vader got a buff, the Droideka got a buff, the Death Trooper got a nerf. Just going over some of those things. So let's talk about Vader first. He now has a choking animation where you can block and choke and you can attack all at the same time while you're choking. And a lot of people are upset about this. I think they were on the right track, but currently Vader still has damage reduction while you are choking, and it makes Vader really powerful. So a lot of people that play Heroes vs. Villains dislike this change. I think it looks cool. It's got a Rogue One vibe to it, and it looks amazing. But I do kind of agree that he is kind of indestructible when he's choking, and so I think as long as they remove the damage reduction and you can choke and block at the same time, I think Vader will be fine. But as of right now, he is just a little bit too powerful, and they should probably nerf that here in the future. And then when it comes to Palpatine and Anakin, Palpatine definitely is nowhere near as good as what he was before, which is great. I've killed some like 600 and 700 level Palpatines, and it felt so nice to be killed by them and then get easy revenge revenge on them, because Palpatine got like 5 or 6 nerfs, and it was such a good change. Like, Palpatine isn't useless anymore. I've used him in a couple matches. He's definitely nowhere near as good as he was, but Palpatine is so fast, and he still does so much damage over time to people that he's still a usable hero. So I think Palpatine is in a good spot right now, and I think for the most part, Palpatine's pretty balanced. But when it comes to Anakin, I've used Anakin in quite a few matches, and I still feel like I'm an overpowered monster. Anakin has received 6 nerfs, and honestly, he needs 7, because they nerfed the wrong thing. They nerfed his Passionate Strike, and they nerfed his star card damage. But Anakin can still one-shot kill people with Heroic Might. He can still pull people and then instantly kill them afterwards with just spam swings. He does so much damage, and the problem is his ability loop. Anakin can activate all his abilities back to back to back. So if Anakin has Retribution charged, he can pull you straight towards him, he can hit you with Retribution, he can hit you with Heroic Might, and he can hit you with all of his abilities, and hit you with his swings, and he probably has his teammates shooting at you at the same time. So they need to do something to change his ability loop. Either make it so that you can't activate your other abilities for a couple seconds after you pull someone, or drastically decrease the range that you can pull someone. I don't know what they can do, but honestly, I can't tell much of a difference at all with Anakin. Now, they did nerf his Passionate Strike, so he doesn't one-shot kill reinforcements anymore, which is good, but Anakin still does so much damage with his base swings that if he hits a reinforcement with his Passionate Strike, he's just going to hit them with a follow-up swing afterwards, and they're dead in like 2 hits. So Anakin is still overpowered. I hate to say it, it sucks. I really wanted Anakin to be balanced, so hopefully they look at completely redesigning Anakin. Otherwise, I think he will always be pretty broken. But when it comes to like the Droideka, you can definitely tell a difference in how strong the Droideka is. They can definitely take more hits when you're in the ball form, which is nice. Their shield, I can't really tell too much of a difference with their shield. I mean, you can tell that it's better, but it's not like night and day difference with the Droideka. I honestly would have preferred a little bit of a range increase for the Droideka, but I do think they made him better, so the Droideka is good. The nerf to the Death Trooper, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Like, you can tell that you have less health, but honestly the Death Trooper was so good before that it doesn't really affect gameplay too much, so I think the Death Trooper's fine. And that kind of does it for like all the major changes that they made to the heroes. Bosca's better now. The First Order Flame Trooper now has a cone radius. You can see how far your flames reach, which is nice. So the quality of life changes that they made, I do enjoy. However, I do not like how DICE moved Galactic Assault. They kind of hid it in the back of the main menu, which I know has made a lot of people angry. Galactic Assault is one of the most popular modes, and DICE is kind of brushing it over to the side to make room for co-op and Capital Supremacy. And DICE claims that co-op and Capital Supremacy are the most played modes, but that's because they keep promoting it like crazy. Like, it's hard to argue that Galactic Assault isn't that popular of a mode when they push it to the back of the menu and they just hit you with Capital Supremacy, Capital Supremacy, Capital Supremacy. Galactic Assault hasn't had an update since Geonosis over a year ago. So it sucks that Galactic Assault is kind of getting pushed to the side. That's my go-to mode. A lot of people like Galactic Assault because it's shorter than Capital Supremacy. You don't have to worry about 2-hour-long matches, and the credit payout is a lot better in Galactic Assault. So that kind of sucks. But overall, I enjoy this update. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm probably going to give it maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I'm leaning more towards 9. The heroes are okay, they're just nothing special. I mean, like I said, they're fun to play with, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's good that I'm having fun when I'm playing the game, but there's nothing special about them. It's not like a selling point. If it was someone like Jango Fett or Mace Windu or even Ahsoka and Ventress, then that's the kind of thing I would want to brag about. That's something I could convince other players to come play this game for. Like, if I told my friends, hey, they added Jango Fett, or hey, they added Mace Windu, they're going to be more likely to play than, hey, guess what, they added BB9E. No one cares about BB9E. But overall, I'm having a lot of fun. I enjoy this update. Hopefully they take a lot of the feedback that people are giving them, and over the next couple months, hopefully we get a lot more skins and a lot more content. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about this update down in the comment section down below. I want to hear all your guys' opinions. And then if you haven't yet, follow me on all social media at SwannyPlaysGames. And you can follow me on Twitch at SwannyPlaysGames Live. And then if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you guys don't miss out on any live streams or on any videos. And that's going to do it for me, guys. And I will talk to you all in the next video.
Will you join me? Accept your fate. I grow impatient.